What's up, friends? Shane's here with the Modern Warrior Project, and if I've labeled this video right and tagged it right, ideally you're here because you have a high metabolism and you struggle with gaining muscle mass. Um, I'm doing this video, it's going to accompany an article I'm writing, so if you came across this on YouTube or some other way, I'll leave the article in the comments, and I'd encourage you to read it because it'll have some general tips as well. In this video, I'm going to kind of just share my story and one of the best pieces of advice that I ever received fitness-wise, respective to me. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff out there that I've learned and heard from others as well. But I struggled terribly with gaining muscle mass. I had a metabolism that was out of this world. You know, typical skinny, tall kid. I'm 6'2". And to give you my backstory, I joined the Army right as I turned 19, and I was 6'2" and 156 pounds. So now I walk around at around 225 to 250 with around 10 to 13% body fat, to give you an idea of the difference. So I joined at 156 pounds. After basic training, I pushed up to around 180, 185. So that was a great improvement from where I was. Basic training has a way of doing that for folks. If you're a fat body, they tend to help you shred that out, and if you're a beanpole like I was, they'll help you gain some mass. So it works out well that way. However, once I got out, and I struggled to gain mass. Really didn't matter. I would work out. I'd work out with weights. You know, I try and lift heavy, respective to what I could. You know, I mean, I was pushing it, but I just would not gain. During my conventional Army time, it's challenging as well because Army fitness program, for the most part, is it's not necessarily these three exercises, but it equates to push-ups, sit-ups, and running. So it's a lot of body weight exercises, and those aren't necessarily ideal if you're truly trying to bulk up. I'm not saying that you can't, get bigger with body weight exercises. You certainly can, but not as easy and not at the levels you can with weights. That's period. I mean, there's no Mr. Olympia walking around that only does body weight exercises, right? So one of the things that kind of helped change and to allow me to start working more towards that was when I went into special operations. There, I didn't have to stick to the Army PT program. We had our own gym. Physical fitness was on your own as long as you maintained the standard, high standard, and then you didn't have to worry about it. So I could back off of the cardio, which I knew was burning more calories, and I could increase on the weightlifting and such. But still, I struggled. I pushed up to around, still kind of stayed around that 180 to 190 range. And finally, one day in my unit, there was a gentleman there who used to be a bodybuilder. He used to compete as a bodybuilder, massive dude. And so I was always hitting him up for info. Hey, what can I do? What supplements do you recommend? What exercises, etc. And one day he said, Shane, let me tell you. He said, I'm gonna give you the best piece of advice for someone like you to gain mass. And he said, you've got to eat. And so I was like, that's not that great advice. But I kind of queried him on it more, and I said, I do eat, man. I eat as much as I can. He said, no, you don't understand. You have to eat. Like, you have to eat like it's a chore. It's not pleasant. And he wasn't even talking about clean foods or anything like that. We didn't even discuss diet so much as quantity. And when I applied that, and I really took that serious, the next rotation I did, which was a 60-day rotation, I left, and I was doing some supplements too. I was doing NO2, which is arginine, it's a nitric oxide booster, protein powder, and multivitamin, and I think creatine. And I deployed for 60 days, and I was probably around the 180 to 185 range. And when I came back 60 days later, I was 195, but I leaned out and I bulked up, and I literally looked completely different to the point that one of my close friends, an older gentleman, actually, like, on the down low, kind of mentored me and told me, hey man, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to know, but if you're using the juice, you need to, like, he was basically, trying to look out for me and accusing me of using steroids. And it was truly all natural. So what the difference was is I ate like it was a chore. I truly did. And I stuck with that for a while, and I continued to put on weight. Once I hit my mid-30s, my metabolism slowed down significantly, and so it was much more easy for me to bulk up as well. But you can do it when you're younger with a high metabolism. But to give you an idea of the amount of calories, and I wasn't counting calories, I was just forcing everything that I could in, and I also dirty bulk, so it's not necessarily ideal. But I didn't have a problem with fat. I had a problem with weight and gaining mass. So to give you an idea, I remember one of the regular things I would do was I'd buy a gallon of chocolate milk in the morning on the way to work, and I'd have it done by lunch. And I would also, we had a McDonald's close by, and a lot of times, we're eating fast food, junk food. I would do 5 double cheeseburgers for lunch. So that's just an idea of kind of the amount of food I was taking in to put on that mass. So the overall bottom line to this is if you're skinny and you struggle to put on muscle, you have to push food to the point that it's unpleasant. I mean, literally, you just have to. And with that, I'm not recommending double cheeseburgers and all that. Although you can get away with it more when you have a high metabolism, but you need a lot of protein. You want that protein which is going to build the muscle, but this isn't necessarily on nutrition and dietary advice here so much as just for those with the, like myself, struggling with that stupid high metabolism, can't seem to put on weight. The number one problem and the most likely source of your issue is you're not eating enough. You might think you're eating enough. You might be getting seconds, and compared to your stocky friend over here struggles with it. It might look like you're just a pig constantly eating. He's like, man, how the hell do you do that? But it's just your metabolism is burning that much faster, so your metabolic burn rate of calories is that much more. So you've got to exceed that and exceed it, and you can put on the mass. It's just a different goal, just like someone else who's on the other side of that. So take that. Hopefully it works for some of you, and you apply it, and just start stuffing your face, and obviously hit the weights too. Otherwise, you'll just get fat. But stuff your face and put on the mass. Good luck.